Hi, welcome to Gentle Restorative today. We're going to begin in reclining Shavasana. So you'll want to have a folded blanket, maybe a couple of them, several pillows, and then I would recommend at least two blocks. Let's go ahead and get ourselves started. We'll grab the blocks. We'll place the first one on its lowest setting. That's where the lower back will go. And then about spine's distance back, we'll place the top one on its upper setting. We'll take our blankets now. We'll unfold them and gently drape them over, making sure not to knock the blocks over, but if you do, that's okay too. If you're using bolsters, feel free to place one on here now. If you're using pillows or floor cushions, just go ahead and stack them gently, making this a comfortable space. There we go. And we'll go ahead and start. Bringing the lower back right up against your supports. Just go ahead and droop yourself over. Your choice today, if you'd like. You can keep the knees bent and let them fall together. You can extend the legs all the way out. With the hands, you can let them rest by your side, palms up, or gently take them to your belly. Whatever's the most comfortable for you today. Make your way there. And then close your eyes. Just notice how the breath flows in and out. Notice the pause between each inhale and exhale. Let's set an intention today to fully surrender, to allow our bodies to completely give in to the mat, to our supports, to our poses. Allowing ourselves to be vulnerable here. With each breath, allow your body to sink back. Finding stillness. Let's gently start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Coming out of the stillness slowly. Perhaps you roll the wrists and the ankles around. Begin to blink your eyes open as you gaze up to the sky. Then reach your arms up over your head. Take a nice long stretch. Gently walking the feet in. And roll yourself onto one side so you can slowly press up and away. Let's move the pillows off to the side. We'll come back to them later. Got a blanket. Go ahead and fold that back up. Take it to the side of your mat as well. We'll leave just one block next to the mat. Let's release ourselves all the way down onto the back. We're going to make our way into a supported bridge. So walk the feet in by the hips. Gently start to press yourself up just enough to slide a block underneath the sacrum. Then release right down. Keeping the left foot on the mat. Lift the right foot up and extend it towards the sky. You can interlace the fingers around your hamstring if you'd like. There's no need to straighten your leg all the way. Keep it comfortably bent. Soften through the toes and the ankle. Just breathe here for a moment. Notice what the left foot is doing on the mat. And allow it to relax. Soften through the ankle joint, the knee joint. Notice how the hips feel here as the back of them presses down into your block. With each breath, allow your arms to become heavier. Notice how that gently tugs at the leg, a little at a time, one breath at a time. Take one more full breath. Then very gently begin to bend the right knee and release the foot all the way down to the ground. Switching to the other side, take the left foot up and interlace the fingers behind your leg. Wiggle your toes for a second. Bring our awareness to the ankle, and we'll soften the whole foot. Notice what the right foot is doing on your mat. Whether it's fully connected or just lightly touching. Become aware of your knee. Notice how the right knee opens to the sky. As you breathe, gravity draws your arms closer to the mat. Take one more full breath. And then release by bending the knee first, then gently lowering the foot all the way down. Pressing both feet down, lift the hips off your block and slide the block out. Release your spine all the way to the mat and roll up into a ball just for a moment, hugging the knees in. You can rock yourself from side to side if you'd like. And then we'll come all the way over onto one side, gently pressing ourselves up and around, making our way onto the belly at the top of the mat for Sphinx pose. You can allow your elbows to rest on the mat, or you can take them to 2 blocks. So if you want to use your blocks, place them down. Very gently release down onto your belly. We will bring the forearms to the blocks, the back of the block right about at your elbow joint. Let your hands just rest here. Let them hang heavy. We'll use the breath to inhale the heart forward and up. To exhale, drop the shoulders and gaze down. Notice the gentle compression in the lower back. If you need to make any adjustments before we get too far into the pose, go ahead and do so. And allow yourself to release in completely, allowing the belly to fall down towards the mat. Allowing your forehead to draw down. Let's bring the awareness now to the back of your body. Notice as the soles of the feet are open but soft. Perhaps your heels begin to part open to the sides. Imagine your calf muscles releasing completely. And then your hamstrings. And then the glutes. As the back of your body becomes heavier, the front of your body can melt down even more. Notice the sensation in your shoulders, in your arms, and in your hands. remaining as still as you can. Let's take one more full breath. And then we'll very gently begin to lift the head up, looking forward. Shift over to one side as you take the opposite arm off the block or mat. Move the block out of the way. And then come to the other side, lift that arm off the block. Release all the way down for a moment into a belly shavasana. Your arms can rest by your sides, or you can stack the hands and drop the forehead. We'll gently begin to lift the head up, bringing your hands to the mat underneath your shoulders. And let's press all the way up onto all fours. We're going to be threading the needle. So if there's anything off to the side of your mat, make sure you've got plenty of room for your arm and possibly your leg to extend out. Finding your comfortable place in tabletop. Tops of the feet are down, the knees under the hips. We'll reach the right arm out to the side, maybe up to the sky. Look at your thumb. And then gently thread it underneath the left arm, releasing all the way to the shoulder. And then the right ear comes down. The left hand can remain on the mat underneath your shoulder, or you can extend it out in front of you. Another option is to remain on both knees, or if it's within your practice, you can extend your left leg out to the side as well. Seeing if you can draw the pinky down. Wherever you are, use your exhale to soften in completely. And giving in to your mat. Gazing off to the side or perhaps closing your eyes. Keeping all of your focus on the sensations inside and outside of your body. Allow the right side of your body to sink down so much that you can imagine making an indent with the knee, the shoulder, and the side of your head. Let's take one more full breath. And if your leg is extended, very gently walk the knee back underneath your hip. If the arm is reaching out, gently draw it back under your shoulder. Begin to press yourself all the way up, back to all fours, finding your tabletop. Switching to the other side now. We'll extend the left arm all the way out, maybe up towards the sky. Look at your thumb. And then draw the arm underneath your right arm, releasing onto the shoulder and then the left ear. Then find whatever option you'd like for this side of your body, whether the right hand stays on the mat under your shoulder or walks out in front of you, whether your right knee stays bent on the mat or you extend your right foot all the way out to the side. Keep your gaze over to the side or close your eyes and just notice what you feel here for a moment. Allow your face to soften, relaxing the space between your eyebrows, your cheeks, and your jaw, separating your teeth a little bit. Let's take one more full breath. And if your right leg is extended out, gently walk it back in, taking your knee to the mat. If the right arm is extended, bring it back underneath your shoulder. We'll gently start to press all the way up, coming back to tabletop on all fours. Then very gently release yourself back down onto the belly. We're going to make our way into half frog. If you'd like a pillow underneath your forehead, go ahead and grab one. Or you can stack the hands and release the forehead down. We're going to open up the right hip to the side, gently drawing the knee up towards your shoulder. The inside of your right foot comes to the earth. Your toes and the sole of your foot is soft. Drop the forehead. Notice what's going on in the shoulders. If you feel like you need to hold yourself up, exhale and soften down, giving this posture complete surrender. Notice how with each breath, the right hip is allowed to open, perhaps slowly drawing down towards the earth. Notice where sensation is in this pose for you today. We'll take one more full breath here. And then bring your awareness to the right leg. As you walk the leg all the way back on the mat, release it down. Without lifting the forehead, let's switch sides. Taking the left knee up and around towards your shoulder, the inside of the left foot to the mat, softening the toes and the ankle. Notice if there's any resistance here, whether it's in the shoulders, the lower back, the back of your right leg, or anywhere else in your body. Breathe into that resistance. Allow it to slowly dissipate. Let's take one more full breath. Then very gently begin to walk the left foot back, extending it out on the mat. And then lift up the forehead. Bring the hands under your shoulders. Let's come all the way back up onto all fours. Now we're going to take a full frog. If you'd like a little extra support under your knees, I recommend turning towards the side edge of your mat and unfolding a blanket, adding a little bit of cushion. You can also fold up the mat to give a little extra cushion under where your knees will go, or you can do both. Whatever works best for your body is where you go. Once you've got yourself set up, come up to the knees and then gently begin to walk them out, keeping the big toes together to begin. Bring the hips back in line with your knees as much as possible. Then you can release yourself down onto the elbows, gazing down towards the mat or even dropping your forehead all the way down. Another option before we get too far into the pose is to take the feet apart, the instep coming to the ground, your ankles as close to in line with your knees as possible, but not going past them. Making sure that we're not reaching the full edge of sensation here, that we're just at about 70%, maybe even less as we begin. Allowing our bodies to find a comfortable place accepting the sensation where it is, and then gradually allowing for more. Allowing your body to be as still as you can. Even through the face and the hands, the arms. Taking a moment just to identify the sensations that you feel here, whether there's resistance or stretch, tingling, fatigue, or maybe a buzz of energy, whatever that is, give it a name, and then bring your breath to it. As new sensations arise, identify those as well. Let's take one more full breath. And if the forearms are down, gently rise up onto the hands. If the big toes are apart, bring them together to touch behind you. And we'll slowly lift one knee up and draw it in, then the other, walking them in nice and easy. Turning to face the top edge of the mat, let's release all the way down into child's pose. Allow your knees to be wide, or if you'd like a little more support underneath your lower back, the knees can come together. Feel the arms extended out, but your elbows are soft. And with each exhale, let's surrender into our mat completely. Feeling the palms of the hands. Notice the forehead drop.
and the weight of your upper body above the shins, pressing them down. The top of your ankles, the tops of your feet are open. Create a little space between your teeth. Then maybe you take the tip of your tongue just to the roof of your mouth behind the front teeth. We'll take one more full breath. Then begin to walk your hands back underneath the shoulders, pressing into the earth as you lift the forehead up.
Let's make our way into a toe stretch now. Feel free to fold a blanket or place a pillow underneath your knees, giving them some cushion. Then we'll tuck the toes underneath the body and release back onto the sits bones, onto the heels. Your choice. If you need to reduce the angle in the knees, you can always place a block between your heels and your sits bones, or perhaps even pillows. Then just gently take your hands to the top of your thighs. You can gaze forward or down. Notice as the soles of your feet begin to open up behind you. Feeling the stretch in the bottom of your toes. Noticing if there's sensation in your knees or your hips, wherever it may be in your body. Breathe there. Become aware of your shoulders. And if you're holding tension in them, just exhale. Let that tension slowly melt away. And let's stay here for one more full breath. Then gently begin to lift the gaze out in front of you. Walk your hands down your legs towards the mat and bring your sits bones off of your heel if you've got supports there. Just take them off to the side. We're going to release the tops of the feet down. If you'd like, you can gently tap the top of the feet on the mat, alternating. Notice the blood rushing back down to your toes. Then release all the way down. If you've got a blanket on your mat, you can fold it up and scooch it off to the side. We're going to make our way into legs up the wall. So bringing the right hip against the wall, gently roll your spine all the way down onto the mat. As you sweep your legs up, bring your heels to touch the wall. And then take a moment here. If you'd like to make any adjustments, whether you move your sits bones closer to the wall or further away, we'll just find a place where we can be comfortable. We're going to make our way into pigeon. So take the left foot to the wall, bend the right knee, cross the ankle over the left knee. You may need to lift your hips to do so, and then gently lower them down. Flip the palms of your hands up towards the sky. And relax your shoulder blades into the mat. You can feel free to close your eyes or keep your gaze straight up. Start to slow your breath down. Notice the connection of the left foot to the wall, allowing it to give into the wall entirely. Let's take one more breath here. And then press your left foot into the wall as you gently lift the hips up, just enough to unwrap the right foot away from your knee, and then bring it to the wall. Taking a moment here, finding that center space. And then let's switch sides. Pressing both feet into the wall, perhaps you lift your hips up and then cross the left ankle over the right knee, releasing the hips back down. Let your foot be soft your toes relaxed, your breath slow down. Become aware as the sensations change, or perhaps they stay the same. Just noticing the journey of this pose on this side of your body. We'll be here for one more breath. Then gently begin to press the right foot into the wall as you lift the hips just enough to unwrap the left leg and then release the hips all the way back down. Coming into legs up the wall for Shavasana today. You can keep your spine completely flat on the mat, or if you'd like to lift your hips a little bit, feel free to grab either a blanket, a pillow, or a block, and just gently place it underneath the lower back. Taking the arms by your sides, palms up, soften the fingers so that perhaps they start to curl inward, and close your eyes. We become very aware of physical sensations throughout this practice. So now we can allow the body to be still as we come to our mind. Noticing the thoughts that pop up here without latching on or becoming attached to any one particular thought. As we lay here still, we allow the thought to arise. We can acknowledge it, then allow it to be on its way. If no thoughts arise, enjoy the quiet comfort of your mind.
I encourage you to stay here as long as you can today. Whenever you are ready to get up, moving slowly and giving your body and mind time to readjust. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice today. I wish you a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.